And welcome back for the final time this season to the World Para-Alpine Skiing World Cup. This is the very last race of a long and arduous but ultimately fantastic Para-Alpine season. It has been a wonderful year so far. We've had a World Championships and an enthralling World Cup. But for the final time, it's time to go on run number 2 of the World Cup. Before we do that though, let's look back at who's leading the way after run number 1 in the slalom. So some interesting races this morning, and we are almost ready to go with run number 2. The slope is set, the sun is shining, it is glorious here in France. Almost time to go to our race commentator Alan March, and we usually say that Alan has the best view in the house. Well, that's never been truer than here in Morzine, where he couldn't have a better view. But Alan, it's time to stop basking in the sunshine and go and do some commentary. Here he is for the final time this season, your race commentator Alan March.
It is true, I've never had a shorter walk to work in my life. It's brilliant. From balcony to commentary box, it's all the same thing really. Thank you very much for joining us. It is the end of the season. I'm not crying, you're crying. Let's get this show on the road, shall we? If you want to get in touch with us, let us know if you've enjoyed this season. Hashtag Para-Alpine is what you need. You can follow us on all the normal social media channels using @Para-Alpine for all the extra content away from the live stream. Get involved, get in touch, but most of all, keep on watching. You can see from the heat haze on this camera that it's certainly warmed up. It was around about 2 or 3 this morning. It's around about 7 this afternoon as we approach midday in the Morzine sunshine. The athletes are going to warm us up a little bit more as well. As we get 60 seconds away from starting, 56 gates set by Martin Machovnik from the Slovakian team. We are indeed ready. We're going to start with the women's VI category then, and only one athlete involved in the women's VI event today. Menna Fitzpatrick will win this as long as she crosses the line. The only athlete taking part today. Injury for the Eigner sisters mean that they're not here. Elizabeth Eigner has a problem with her appendix, so no Eigners, and of course get well soon Melissa Perrine. If you were watching yesterday, you would have seen Mel take a hefty tumble on her left knee. No serious lasting damage has been done, so she tells me. So no Mel Perrine and Bobby Kelly, the legends that are. So a simple run for Fitzpatrick, and Jennifer Kehoe, the guide in orange, being watched by Santum, or the dog. Samson is down at the finish line. It's the family dog. And brothers are here watching as well, so a real family feel. This is the country that Menna Fitzpatrick first tried to ski at the age of 5 on a family holiday, and has gone on to huge success. 4 medals in the Paralympics, gold in this very event. She hasn't had the best of times with slalom this season, however it was her day in Pyeongchang. Every mountain's different, every course suits everyone differently, and Fitzpatrick takes a simple victory in the women's VI event. Then a big wave as she says goodbye to the season. They won't start next season. Kehoe has commitments within the army, and Menna Fitzpatrick, to quote, wants to go and get a real job for a little while. They'll be back towards the back end of next season, I would imagine. That's how warm it is. No hats, the sunglasses are on. I haven't seen many pairs of gloves here in Morzine. Very similar to La Molino, maybe about 6 or 7 degrees cooler. We've certainly finished the season with some fantastic weather conditions, not necessarily for the course. The athletes and the spectators have certainly been enjoying themselves. 154.32 for Menna Fitzpatrick, and the 20-year-old finishes her season. Let's go and hear from her one last time. She's with Stephen Jameson.
Yeah, hello, welcome down to the finish line. These two didn't take the invitation to stand. They are putting their feet up. The season is over for Menna and Jen. Guys, that must sound a bit of a relief after what's been a really long year. How do you reflect on what's been ultimately a very successful 2019 so far?
Yeah, it's been really good fun. We go out to every single race to give it our all, and that's exactly what we've done here today as well. So yeah, all in all, the season's been brilliant.
Yep, some crystal globes, some medals at the World Championships. Jen, if you had to pick a highlight, Jen, what would be it for you?
You put me on the spot there. Highlight of, I think actually, probably the Super G. Yeah, we skied really well. The Super G at the World Champs was brilliant. We loved it. We're just gutted we haven't had the opportunity to do more Super Gs over the season, or many more Super Gs over the season. So, looking forward to a stronger speed season next year.
And you've ended on a high. You pick up a gold medal in the slalom. Your fans are all here cheering you on. How nice is it to end like this?
Oh, definitely. We had so much fun this last few days, and yeah, having all those support and they're a great laugh.
It's really nice because this is where Menna learned to ski, so it's like coming home for us. So sort of feel like it's quite, you do feel at home here. It's really brilliant, and you get lots of support. So thank you to Morzine for putting on an amazing race.
Yeah, they have put on an amazing race. It's been amazing to watch it all season long, guys. Enjoy the rest. I'm sure you've earned it. And Alan, it's back to you.
Can't believe Jen Kehoe didn't say her highlight was sitting in commentary with me a couple of days ago. Absolutely gutted. Slalom standing for women next up. Maddie Bochet has won absolutely everything she's entered in 2019. The queen of the slopes will need to make a mistake to not win today. So Binja Schmidt will get us going in the women's standing. For people watching on, the standing provides sometimes the easiest visual of someone's impairment. It also then provides perhaps some of the hardest. People with cerebral palsy or hemiplegia, it's difficult sometimes to spot what someone's impairment is. Binya, as you can see, are in the upper part of the body, born without the bone in the forearms, but has learnt to ski this way from a very young age. Schmidt didn't have the best of runs this morning. 22 years old. A couple of world championships now that she's entered. She'll have a mindset on getting to Beijing in a few more years. That will be the hope. There you see the victorious Brits. Brits on tour. More Brits on the podium. This is Céline Delouralière. Brand new to our screens in terms of a World Cup, but she's not the youngest. An injury setback in 2017 means that we're perhaps a year behind in seeing Delouralière on our screens. She's got good technique, very similar impairment to Marie Bochet, and also runs at 100% factored time. A little improvement from Delouralière over the next year or so, and the French might just have a natural successor for Bochet. Not that I think that she's about to retire, she's still only 25 herself. Through the line then, 6:40 the difference, 2:02.27 for Céline Delouralière. This is Ami Hondo. Again, impairment in the left arm. You can see that Hondo only skiing with the pole in her right hand. Another that is in her early 20s, just 22. Comes from Tokorozawa in Japan. Studied physical education and only took up competing in 2016. Born without fingers on her left hand. Hondo gets to the line and she drops her place. I tell you now, Delouralière is one to watch for the future. She really is. Hondo couldn't get past. This is Ana Maria Rida, who potentially could win the Slalom Globe, but she has to beat Bochet and Fred Turgeon to do that, and I'm not sure that's going to be achievable today, but you never quite know what's going to happen in Alpine sport. Ana Maria Rida, just 18, another that's shown a very big improvement. She also is in line to finish second in the standings overall behind Marie Bochet, so not bad at all. Rida looking very good here, 7.94 seconds difference between the German and the French athlete. People spotting themselves on the big screen. This is Alana Ramsey, the girl from Calgary. Might have seen her sat on the sofa with, or the snowfa as it was called, during the team event with Stephen Jameson and Mena Fitzpatrick in our opening day of broadcast here in Morzine. Talked about a season that hasn't been free of illness and injury. A lot of the athletes, not just with their impairment, will ski through a season with a couple of knocks. Quite natural. You can see them going through the pain. We've got no Andrew Kirker today, no Theo Gemur, so plenty of names not here. 0.46 behind for Ramsey, and that won't help her teammate. Fred Turgeon, in a chase to close down on Anna Maria Rieder, has gone behind. So it's at least third place today for Rieder. This is the lady who wants to win the slalom standing. She has to finish within 2 or 3 places really of Rieder, and all will be safe. Bochet didn't enter the slalom early enough to be able to catch. And Turgeon is in front. There's one way to make sure you win it, and that is to be in front of the person that was second before you start. And that's exactly what young Frédéric Turgeon has done. A difficult start to the season for Frédéric Turgeon. Back end of last year, the passing of her father. We saw emotional scenes in Solanaver at the World Championships, or Kranjska Gora should I say, when she claimed the silver medal in the World Championships, and she does drop behind Anna Maria Rieder. And here comes Bochet. Nothing left for us to say particularly that you don't already know this season. If you've been watching all of this, you've already made your own conclusions without me. You know that this lady is fantastic, that she is the dominant force in standing events in para-alpine skiing. All 5 of the World Championship gold medals went to the lady from Chambéry, and this will be no different. 1:47.04. The Queen of the Slopes salutes the crowd, and they cheer back for her. The flags are waving. So too is Marie Bochet. Fantastic performance once again. 1:47.04. Frédéric Turgeon will win the Globe for the slalom event. That 4th place finish enough to take her to 460 points. Anna Ramsey, Anna Maria Rieder and Marie Bochet will be the podium in the end. A big mistake for Turgeon in the lower part of the course, costing her Dealey. And Marie Bochet just unclipping the skis before she talks to Stephen Jameson. Turgeon is getting away.
Alors si vous avez envie de faire des photos avec Marie, c'est le moment de le faire et d'en profiter. Elle doit être détendue maintenant.
So, we'll have a look at the men's event shortly, but first we've still got the women's sitting. 3 athletes left to go in that one. Stevens, Muraoka and Forster. But first we can hear from Marie Bochet. She is with Stephen Jameson.
Okay, so we're down at the finish line with Marie. Marie, the end of a very long season. You now get to put your feet up. You are on top of the pile once again. Sum up your 2019, if you can.
No, it's a very beautiful day. I'm very happy to finish the season with this run and with this race. It was very enjoyable to race at home, and very fun to have some cheering to friends, family, and it's a very beautiful day, and I'm very happy to finish this season. It was very long, and I'm happy to complete my whole victory. It's cool, yeah, I'm very happy, and I'm happy to Fred with the gloves too, because I know I can't win it when I miss two races, and I'm very happy that Fred win it.
Some lovely words, and we've loved watching you this season, Marie. You've been so special to watch. Congratulations on all your victories, and we look forward to seeing you next year.
Thank you so much, and thank you to follow our race, and I say maybe see you the next season.
We look forward to it. We can't wait. Alan, it's back to you.
Ooh, a tease from Marie Boucher. Maybe see you next season. Well, we hope to see Marie Boucher next season and the rest of the athletes here on the live stream for World Para-Alpine Skiing. So Stevens, Muraoka and Forster are the ladies that will take us out for the season in terms of the female races. Stevens, the most experienced of the three. Double Paralympic gold medalist nonetheless. 34-year-old. Took up skiing at the age of 12. Former competitor in para-swimming as well. Let us not forget that she took a bronze in 2018's Paralympic Games, so roll on 12 years and she was still picking up medals in that sit ski of hers. Sochi was a double bronze, and 2010 saw a silver in the downhill too. So whilst this is not her preferred event, Stevens will finish on the top three overall for the season as well. She's had a good season. Certainly putting in plenty of decent performances. A World Championship medalist this season too. Stevens 2:02.22, and as Marie Boucher was saying, it's a long old season. It's all right for Boucher. She's in home country. Well, these athletes have still got a long way to go before they get home, and a few more days to add to their journey. Muraoka has made eyes open very wide this season. A lot of people taking notice of the young Japanese sit skier. It's a flashback to Daiki Mori's heyday. People already making the comparisons of the young Japanese sit skier with the great. 5.47 seconds up.
Les grimpeurs assis aussi pour certains. Et là, elle est en train de faire une belle manche, la japonaise, parce que voilà, très peu de frein avec son fauteuil. C'est bien de négocier tout ça.
Already well ahead, as expected, of the time. It was set a little bit earlier. And as Momo comes in, 21-year-old from Saitama bursts into the lead as expected. Here comes the leader of the slalom. Won't be displaced. And can't win the overall now. Needed Muraoka to crash out, so that's not happened. But Annalena Forster, World and Paralympic champion, will take the globe for the women's slalom event. And will be second in the overall rankings. Looking forward to plenty more seasons where Forster and Muraoka introduce Schaffelhuber to the mix as well, I suppose, and there's still plenty of action to come from those ladies. 5.22 the difference. Annalena Forster, brilliant as always.
With over 5 seconds in advance there, it is Annalena Forster with
Forster
a 1:51.04.
very much in control of the slalom event in the women's sitting, whilst Muraoka was dominant of the giant slalom. Annalena Forster found the rhythm every time and takes 400 points out of her 4 races, so an excellent start for her in this World Cup, and she finishes as #1. So we'll hear from the German sit skier who is down with Stephen Jameson, and as Victor, I'm sure she's in a good mood.
Yeah, welcome back down to the finish line with our winner, Annalena Forster. Congratulations. What an amazing season for you. The queen of the slalom in the sit skiers. You are top of the pile at the end of the World Cup. How do you feel?
Yeah, it's cool. It's very good. I'm so happy with the season, and yeah, I had very good results, and yeah, I'm happy.
And as we come to the end of what's been a really, really long season, how excited are you for a little bit of time off? How are you looking to enjoy the end of the season?
Yeah, I'm very happy that the season is over now, and yeah, enjoying some times with friends and family, and yeah, have some fun, and then go back to training again. Yeah.
2020 will come before we even know it, right?
That's it. Yeah.
Well, we can't wait to watch you in that year, Annalena. Congratulations on an amazing year today.
Thank you.
Alan, back to you.
All the athletes, they know what they're getting into at the beginning of the season. It is a grueler, and they're all very happy to have finished it, but I can tell you that they'll be putting that behind them as quick as you think. They'll be going off and having a little time away. Maybe they won't want to see some snow for a little while, but for many of them, they'll have a break, and the serious training won't take long to start back again. Men's VI slalom to come now. 5 athletes started this morning, no DNFs, so all of them getting across the line in that order. Burton, Kubacka, Delaplace, Savard, and the man that's won the Slalom Globe already and the overall in the VI, Hrajos of Slovakia. So, 36-year-old Burton waits alongside Kurt Grimmelman. The arm of the timing fence goes across, which means we are into the final 3 sets of events. The men's events to come. Burton will want to try and get himself past Marek Kubacka. He had a little wobble on the slope this morning. Had to correct his entire body position and go again. Talking with Andrew Kirker in commentary yesterday, who was telling us about the effort and commitment of Kevin Burton's new guide, Kurt Grimmelman. And certainly it is about consistency in lots of elements of alpine skiing. Consistency with a guide is another area that you perhaps don't think of, and Kevin Burton's trust levels have gone up massively throughout the season as he and Grimmelman have got more and more used to each other. I think it's been a good year for Kevin Burton. Some big improvements for the American. And as he gets to the line, he'll get a finishing time of 1:57.27 here. Marek Kubacka then, the only B1 skier on the circuit at the moment. B1 is lowest in the brackets of visual acuity, no sight whatsoever for Marek. Those goggles completely blacked out to ensure fair play. And here's a man that maybe not be the best in the slalom world by his own admissions, and he and his guide Maria are certainly working hard at it. But a giant slalom victory in the World Cup, or the World Championship should I say, was greeted to huge praise from his peers. Everybody that was in and around that finishing area when he came through wanted a piece of Marek Kubacka, everyone's favourite skier. Andrew Kirker called him yesterday because he defies what you think is logic, as many para-athletes do right across the board of parasports. The International Paralympic Committee realising the dreams of many athletes with an impairment. Alpine is no different. Kubacka hits the line. Big applause at the bottom. 5:45 the difference between Kubacka and Burton. Who would you trust to take you down a mountain completely blind? Interesting question for you to answer out there. Hashtag Paralpine. If you want to get in touch with us, you can do so throughout the course of this World Cup. And again, at Paralpine is what you need if you want to follow on any of the social media channels. Hyacinthe de la Place experienced the emotions of a first ever World Cup win during the giant slalom events in La Molina just a week ago. He also experienced what it's like to go from euphoria to rock bottom when he crashed out in the very first run the next day. But again, it's all about learning, and whilst de la Place is into his mid-20s, he's fairly new to us. This is his first World Cup season, having joined us from the world of para-athletics, from track spikes to skis. Certainly, with the assistance of Maxime Jourdain, he looks a threat going forward, the Frenchman. And he darts to the line. He is in front, 1:49.78. He grew the lead back after getting it down to 0.95. He's over 2 seconds quicker than Marek Kubacka in the end. A little wave towards the cameraman. Now this is Thomas Sivard. In the similar vein to de la Place, he's fairly new to the circuit. Sivard is just 17 though. He and his guide Coran Lamé talk about how each of the athletes has different styles with their guides. Coran and Thomas are happy to be quite well separated. Even here in the slalom, you'd notice it more in the speed events. They have had a disqualification this season for being too many gates apart. There are rules that govern all of that. Again, Lamé just having a quick look behind him, slowing it down through the final gates, and he does get in front of de la Place. 1:48.33. One mistake from Miroslav Haraeus, and this young man will win a World Cup event in his home country. This guy can make mistakes, but this season has certainly been much, much better. He's the overall leader in the slalom. He's the overall winner of the World Cups in men's VI already. He's amassed a wonderful array of victories and podium places throughout the season, but he does know how to take a tumble. It's because he throws himself into everything. Drew Kirke yesterday admiring the tenacity of Miroslav Haraeus, somebody with a vision impairment who just throws themselves into each and every turn under the instructions of Maros Hudik. These two really are forming quite a devastating partnership. And this has been an excellent season for Miroslav Haraeus, who is into the final few gates. He's 5.5 seconds at least ahead of Savard. The youngster will have to wait for that first World Cup victory because Haraeus was in no mood to let him have one today. 1:42.35. He is applauded by his opponents. You know when you're beaten, and you know when Miroslav Haraeus is around, you're in for a tough day. The top three will be on the podium for today's event. Haraeus, the overall winner as well. Savard in second, 1:48.33. De la Place in third, 1:49.78. Kubacka and Burton in the non-podium places, but Miroslav Haraeus guided expertly as always, by Maros Hudik in a time of 1:42.35. He's victor once again here in Morzine. So moving into the men's standing events in a couple of moments, and that is, well, to say it's tight is an understatement. Martin Wirtz on 295, Thomas Fiel on 260, sandwiched between is Thomas Walsh. We'll come to that. Here is Haraeus with Jameson.
Yeah, thank you very much, guys. The winner of the men's VI once again, Miroslav Haraeus. We've said that a lot this year. You've had such an incredible 2019. You keep that red leader bib. How do you feel, and how do you look back on 2019 as a whole?
Že ako sa cítiš túto sezónu, lebo že máš aj lídra na sebe a že stále akože si zase si dokázal vyhrať, takže aký si mal za sebou skvelý 2019 rok?
Úžasné preteky, úžasná sezóna, úžasný tento pretek. Som rád, že som tieto preteky vyhral a že som dokázal získať celkovo goldbub aj malý goldbub v Slalome, takže bolo to skvelé celá sezóna a k tomu počasie ešte vynikajúce, takže super.
Well, so wonderful season, wonderful slope, so I'm just feeling very, very good, and I'm really happy that I was able to get the Crystal Globe in overall, so I just mean that the weather is also very, very good, so I'm very happy.
Everything is perfect for you, Miroslav. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And guys, it's back to you.
Thank you very much to Stephen Jameson and more importantly Miroslav Haraeus. Good to mention Maria Zadovikova, the guide from Marek Kubatska, acting as translator as well as guide. What a great, great lady she is. Here are the list of athletes to come. Now again, I'll go through the current standings in the World Cup for this slalom event. Then Martin Wirtz in control on 295. Second is Walsh on 280. Thomas Fiel on 260. And Thomas Fiel is 4 places ahead of Martin Wirtz at the moment. We'll try and figure that all out a little bit later. This is Koei Takahashi, 18-year-old Japanese standing skier. Mindset purely on improvement after improvement, and the intention is to reach Beijing in 2022 as a threat for medals. He won't be the only youngster dreaming of that. Takahashi has been starting to finish higher and higher as the season's gone on. He finished his first run inside the top 10, always a little out of shape. Just losing the right leg. And into the line he comes then, 1:45.36. Had a bit of a fight with the course in the end. Now then, this is the first athlete to make an effect on the overall World Cup. Thomas Walsh was third out of the top 3 after the first run. He was second going in to this competition. What has he got left in his locker to try and get ahead of Martin Wirtz? That's his first challenge. He has to finish 2 places above Wirtz, somewhere on the leaderboard at least, to stand a chance, and the lower down the podium places, or in fact the top 10 he goes, the harder that will be. So Walsh cruises to the line, 1:45.32. He's only just inside Takahashi in the end, so he stays where he is, and that might be the chance of the Slalom World Cup globe gone. Here's the current leader. Has to finish 35 points or more ahead of Thomas Fiel. That's all he can allow Fiel to have. Behind, should I say. Wirtz needs to hold off the Swiss athlete. Victory in La Molina has put Wirtz in a strong position. Walsh had a great start in Zagreb. Wirtz to the line. Oh, he's behind. Oh, and he's into third as well. That's another place for Walsh now. The more people that get in between Walsh and Wirtz, the better it is for the American. Manuel Bordanks. Permutations for the globe in the men's slalom. Taking a turn after turn. It's twisting more than the slalom event itself. This is good from Bordanks. He's 1:07 ahead of Thomas Walsh. Walsh just needs people in between himself and Wirtz to stand a chance. DNFs aren't any good to him. What he needs is Bordanks to be slow in this final section. He's missed the gate. Well, the stars are aligning at the moment for Thomas Walsh. Bordanks gets across the line, but that is a DNF. He has missed the gate, so he is out anyway, Bordanks. This is Aaron Lindström. Oh, and Lindström fighting hard, a real go-at-it kind of character. We saw Lindström flying through the air in La Molina in more ways than one. Ignore that time from Bordanks. Oh, and down goes Lindström. Well, Lindström goes down. Oh, he just seems to trip over his own skis, and that is ever so unfortunate for the very dynamic and very explosive Aaron Lindström. And as he starts to make his way from the course, we're getting a slight delay out there on the circuit, so we'll see what happens. Lindström seems okay. Just slowly making his way down. Robin Kusch. On 135 points for the season. Year-old chasing down. Now, Bordanks has been given a time of 1:21.77 here, but clearly missing gates at the end. So because he's crossed the line, it seems the system is registering that. So we'll try and clarify in a little while.
Skieur de Châtel à l'arrivée, Robin Kusch, il est en tête, 1:43.33 pour Robin. Robin, ça a été un plaisir de te connaître. Je te souhaite vraiment un podium sur cette deuxième manche. Toutes les possibilités.
Comes Kusch.
Mais on peut l'applaudir, messieurs dames.
1:43.33, so he is the new leader. Oh, now! This is huge. Thomas Field. Well, I'll tell you what, Thomas Walsh might not believe his eyes. Thomas Field was at 5 places ahead of Walsh earlier. What Walsh needs is somebody now to start finishing in front of Martin Wirtz. Kusch is the leader, 1:20.58. I tell you, I'm going to need a calculator, an abacus, and to borrow somebody's toes to try and figure all this out soon. Thomas Field was in pole position to snatch the slalom globe. Not now, as he finishes behind Martin Wirtz and Thomas Walsh. You have to feel for Field. Thomas Orvassen out on course, and he's a record breaker. Orvassen, he became the first Icelandic alpine skier to win at a World Cup, both para and able body. And he is in front of Robin Kusch. And Orvassen goes down. Well, does nobody want to win? Orvassen will get to the finish. And that time of 1:46 is above Martin Wirtz. That is just what Thomas Walsh needed. Oh, this is simply staggering. I can see Thomas Walsh stood in the spectator area. I can see a couple of coaches having a look, and well, this is going to be very, very tight at the end. Santeri Kiri now. You would expect him to finish on a podium. Orvassen dropping into 5th position. Walsh at the moment will get 60 points if he stays where he is. He won't, because Bauchet is to come. And Kivri should beat his time as well. He's looking very smooth as the Finn here. No difficulties for him as he flies to the line then. Kivri goes top.
Representing Finland, it is Santeri Kivri, takes the first place in there with a run of 1:38 points.
This is simply brilliant. What a way to end the season, with high drama at high noon. Bauchet would put Walsh into 4th place. My understanding is that Bordanks has missed gates here, but his time is still registering. I can only give you the unconfirmed results, but by my maths, Walsh here will finish on 330. Martin Wirtz will finish in 6th position, 7th position, sorry. Bauchet well ahead.
Mesdames et messieurs, pour la saison et pour tout ce qu'il va faire dans l'avenir, Arthur Bauchet qui gagne la 2e journée du slalom.
Bauchet takes it with ease. I think Thomas Walsh has won the slalom globe by 4 points. That's how I see it. We can't confirm anything until the official results a little bit later on. Davide Bendotti now. For him, it's about improvements. He showed some this morning, I have to say. Bauchet through this section was 1:14.99. .61 down. Dotti this morning went 54.01.
As he comes down to this finishing line here in Morzine, ladies and gents, it is from the Bella Italia.
Here he comes, 9.68.
Pas mal, parce qu'il partait en 11e position, il prend la 7e position. 9 secondes 66 derrière Arthur Bauchet. Donc belle course de l'Italien.
Raku Mesawa time of 97.77 for the very experienced Japanese single leg skier. 31 years old. Another that's finding himself some amount of time back, 8:46 a little earlier.
Massive run from him, comes in from 12th place up into 8th place in the second heat. 1:45.99. Who have we got next coming up? Another Frenchman.
Now I can tell you that Davide Bendotti's brilliant performance does mean that Thomas Walsh will win the Slalom Globe here. So anybody viewing from the United States, it's a big, big moment for young Tommy Walsh. That is victory secured for him. My maths had him about 4 points up. Somebody else then told me he was 1 point down. Who knows? But what I can tell you is that Masawa and Bendotti have both gone in front of Martin Wirtz. So as the gap widens, Thomas Walsh wins by more and more points. So these guys at the bottom end are doing Thomas Walsh a massive favour. Morzine crosses in 11th position. The applause keeps ringing around. 2 more to come. This is the youngster from Norway, Markus Nilsson Grasto. No use of ski poles in either hand. He's very much in the learning phase when it comes to the World Cup. Just 17. As Andrew Kirker exclaimed yesterday, like Marcus at their age, they are the future of the sport.
Let's see what he can do here today.
Just into the final stages. And it's the line in 1:57.53. Leander Kress falls into the same category as Nilsson Grasto. Kress also in his late teens, just 18. We of course saw Jules Segers this morning disqualified for missing a gate for the afternoon. He's just 16, so there's plenty of new talent coming through in the men's standing category, and for that there is plenty coming through in other categories as well. Kress to finish our standing event, which has been topsy-turvy. Brilliant that the slalom event itself should have so many twists and turns in the final standings. Well, here we go then. Well, that is the unofficial result as it stands. Number 4 on that board is the slight one that we have to worry about. I believe Manuel Bordank's missed gates high up and low down on the course. So once that is reviewed, I think you'll find that Thomas Walsh and everybody else will step up a place. However, it's not enough for Martin Wirtz, who will be very, very disappointed. However, let's go and speak to our winner.
Welcome to the finish line with Arthur Bauchet. We've said that a few times this year, haven't we, Arthur? Now, let me get this straight. 3 World Championships, 3 Crystal Globes now.
Yes.
That's pretty special. What an incredible season. Can you try and sum it up?
Yeah, it was a magic season again. I love that word. So yeah, it was really a really difficult season because I did a lot of race that I didn't do that the past season. So yeah, it's really difficult with my leg, but it's a game, and I'm at the last World Cup race. I did a gold medal, so yeah, it's magic.
Does it feel special in a way to close the season in France? You've had the best season of your career to date. It seems almost fitting that you end it close to home.
Yeah, it's really good to win at home, because yeah, it's like how public who wait in the bottom of the slope, and it's really good. I confirm my overall globe here in Morzine in France. So yeah, I will win the globe in Morzine. I win 2 gold medals. It's just a magic day again.
Well, I think you've made quite a few new fans here in Morzine, Arthur. Congratulations on it. It's been great to watch you.
Thank you very much.
Alan, it's back to you.
The Magic Man. Loves that word. Arthur Balchet breezed through the course, didn't he? The course itself is having a little bit of work done on it, so we have got a short delay. The guys in the sit skis need it to be in as good a condition as it possibly can be, and they are always the guys to go at the end of the day. Jesper Pedersen is the overall winner in the sitting events. The battle for second is between Igor Sikorsky and Taiki Mori in the slalom. Pedersen is also the winner of that as well. The rest of the athletes are just looking for as good a finish to the season as possible. There is Kiracano. As I say, the guys and girls out on the course just clearing it and cleaning it and smoothing it over as much as they can. There you can see them, like tiny ants in the distance. There they are. Look how hard these guys are working. As always, a big thank you to the local organising committees of all the venues that the World Para-Alpine Skiing World Cup has been to, and the World Championships for that matter as well. Without all of the volunteers and the course workers, it's not possible to run the quality and the standard of events that we have done. And well, some of our athletes have glided to victory. You could have just bought a ticket to watch it at the bottom, but I suppose if you want to float across the top and watch from a different angle, that's one way of doing it. So the 32-year-old, originally from Abashiri in Japan, now lives in Nagano for the training facilities that are there. He's gold medals in Super G and downhill at Sochi. Sustained spinal cord injuries in a traffic accident whilst in his 3rd year of primary school. So Kiracano has learnt to do this from a very young age. Somebody that hasn't been afraid to crush through the gates of Alpine. First competing around about 2004. Entered his first World Championships 4 years later to good success as well. A couple of silver medals in the giant slalom and the Super G. Next World Championships, he started winning those gold medals. He'd done so as well in Sochi in 2014, again downhill and Super G. More a lover of the speed than anything else. A best finish of 6th at the Paralympics in slalom. It's not going to be that high today unless there's a few DNFs. The bottom of this run is the tricky finish. It might catch a couple out towards the end, but Kano, no such difficulties. 1:52.18. This is Jurnej Slivnek, only Slovenian competitor. Just one of 17 different nations taking part. Has been improving this season. It's very noticeable over the last few weeks as well. He was good in La Molina. And to be inside the top 10 this morning was very impressive again from Yone. Another very pleasant character on the circuit. Always stops to say hello. As Slivnik crosses the line.
Pour le skieur de Slovénie, the only racer from Slovenia.
Jone Slivnik gets across the line. He is ahead. 1:51.93 is the time for Slivnik, so he does go ahead of the experienced Akira Kano, and he'll take that as a small victory in his own right. The more experienced the athletes behind him, he'll be very pleased with. Dine Di Silvestro had a magic run yesterday, only to crash just before the line, a couple of meters tops. He just could not get himself upright to slide across. He needed to use gravity to get down the hill and finish. However, just couldn't finish it. Silvestro trying to finish his last run of the season and see just how high he can finish. But I would seriously look out for this guy at the beginning of next season. As I say, big improvements. He's got to try and keep it on the course a bit more. I was going to say, and just as I say that, he does it. 1:46.61. Well in front of Jone Slivnik. There is Marie Bochet. Now this is Micha Weifler. Bib number 34. Chasing on the time of 1:27.53. 1.94 behind. That's just how good Silvestro's time was. Really is flying this season for Dine Di Silvestro. He can perhaps consider himself unlucky not to have a little bit more success from his tour. In 46.61. Oh, Weifler right at the end. And that's gutting for the Swiss man. Across the line and get an accidental time, but as we all saw, missing the gates towards the end. Weifler goes out. Niels de Lange. One of the three from the Netherlands. Jerome Kampschor will be racing for pride later. He will want to get ahead of Jesper Pedersen. Whether it means winning anything or not will just be mentally for him a victory. And then Niels de Lange tackling Dine Di Silvestro's very quick second run, and even he's struggling. Silvestro went 55.19. He's well over a second quicker than Niels de Lange. Oh, sorry, Niels de Lange was well over a second quicker than Dine Di Silvestro and has already dropped 0.62. Silvestro has produced some magic despite having a problem as well. He's still ahead, Dine Di Silvestro. Well, add that time, subtract what he made a mistake with at the bottom, and that's simply quite stunning. Di Silvestro's time is 51.42. Mesmerising. Igor Sikorsky. Victory yesterday, first of the World Cup calendar. You go and save the best for last and all that. 1:23.53 through this section. Sikorsky, he is now ahead. Well, he finished on 52.78, so he's using the advantage of the first run, but he has dropped time against Di Silvestro. Sikorsky extremely happy to have got that victory. He was started the season feeling pretty unwell. 46.61 will now go, and in fact Sikorsky finds a little bit of speed and rhythm in the bottom section as well. 3.90 now.
One of the best racers in sit. Moves in the first place there with a time of 1:42.
Marcus Schwaterhofer. Another one of the athletes we've seen this season having indifferent form, shall we say. Probably too many DNFs for his liking. However, you have to say that it's something that's quite synonymous with the sit skis. The speed they are going. Schwaterhofer is behind Sikorsky. If he were to finish there, Sikorsky's battle to be second in the men's slalom standings for the season will be complete, because Morty just won't have the chance to catch him into the finish then, and he's going to be behind Sikorsky by over 2 seconds in the end.
Second position unofficially for Marcus Schwaterhofer, Austria.
Sikorsky's time is going to be hard to beat. 51.42 from Rini Di Silvestro, 49.93 by Sikorsky, dropping inside the 50-second marker. That's where Pedersen and Kampster and this man as well, Taiki Mori, will be hoping to be. No one went quicker than 52.78 in the first run out of everybody that's been so far. Sorry, Schwaterhofer went 52.57. Pedersen was only 51.14, so these 50-second runs in the second run looking very good indeed. Mori is ahead. Mori gonna slip a place as well. Taiki Mori finishes behind Igor Sikorsky. That time from Poland, Sikorsky looking very, very dominant. Jeroen Kampster. A little bit like Mari Bochet this season. There's not a lot left to tell you. If you haven't learned something about Jeroen Kampster this year, you've not been watching enough. Dominant in the World Championships, took absolutely everything there was. He may have even stolen a towel from the hotel, but he got everything that was there at the World Champs. And Kampster has had a pretty good season as well. He's missed out on the overall, just 1 or 2 DNFs have cost him. Pedersen has had a steady season on the World Cup circuit, but certainly when it came to the World Champs, there was nothing they could do to stop this guy. And now it's down to Pedersen to stop Kampster from winning the final race of the World Cup as well. Here he is then. He will remain the leader, as it says on his bib. He will win the overall, but he and Kampster are very similar. They do not like racing without finishing in first. Unfortunately for both of them, you can only ever have the one winner. And these two are going to spend a long old time battling it out between themselves, that's for sure. Kampster's run, 49.36. Well, we have got better than Sikorsky. Can Pedersen give us a grandstand finish? He's 0.9 ahead of Kampster. Can he keep that going? Flawless performance from the young Norwegian. 1:41.34. Yes, 0.51 of a second. Jesper Pedersen is the overall sit-ski male winner of the season, and he finishes in style. Final few athletes to come as Pedersen will be at the bottom celebrating his victory. Alex Cairns will be putting himself through his final run of this World Para-Alpine skiing season. 26-year-old, originally from Vancouver. In that time, Pedersen through this section, 1:19.19. He went 49.69, so the gap was closer. Kampster had the best of the second run. Pedersen doing what he needed. 51.14 this morning was where it was all won. Kampster 1:41.34. Just couldn't quite gain on Pedersen. Cairns into the bottom section, just 7 more gates to go. Tricky finish, not too tricky for Cairns, and he hits the line in 1:52.29. This is Floris Meyer. Floris, the third of the Dutch athletes to go. Quite fitting, actually, that we'll have a French athlete to go last here in France. Nine-year-old Floris, one of our athletes that acquired his impairment. He's just slowed himself dramatically through that section. And again, we were talking with Andrew Kirky yesterday in commentary, a Paralympic sit-ski champion himself. As he is watching Meyer yesterday, he's noticing that Floris is more concentrating on just finishing, finding the right lines and maybe not the speed. Oh, and just as I say that, Floris Meyer takes a tumble so close to the finish. And the Dutchman is down. Meyer drifts down through the bottom, but Lou Brasdegan then, the final athlete of the World Para-Alpine skiing season, out on course. And to finish with a Frenchman here in Morzine seems quite appropriate, doesn't it? As we look down on the town, Lou Brasdegan, a brand new name this season, only entered the fray in La Molina, and he is calmly and smoothly making his way down to the bottom. Yes, he is 17.39 seconds down, but yes, this is his first ever season, and it might take him a little while to get up to speed with the likes of Pedersen, Kampster, De Langen, De Ikimori. But I'm sure Lou Brasdegan will be thinking about that. He looked very good in the giant slalom. Might be his future favourite event. And he will get to the line, and there is a huge cheer of the French athletes and spectators that are gathered. Fantastic noise in the finish area here in Morzine. And we can take a look at the finishing standings for the men's sitting slalom. Pedersen takes it from Jeroen Kampstra. Igor Sikorsky with a fantastic run. Those three, all of them inside 50 seconds in their second run. And Sikorsky leapt up a fair few places as well. Heikki Mori finishing behind him. Marcus Schatterhofer settling for 5th place. Watch out for Rene Di Silvestro next season. He looks like he's making great improvements. Let's go and talk to the race winner. Jesper Pedersen is with Stephen Jameson.
Yeah, thank you very much, Alan. The final time of the season down here at the finish line. And with Jesper Pedersen, the overall leader in the slalom, it seems fitting in a way, Jesper, that you close out with a win in the slalom. How important was today for you? It's been a long season.
It's been a long season. Today was really about showing that I deserved the leader bib. So I felt like I've had 2 good runs now, and that was good.
And you were telling me before that your coach has been trying to give you that motivation to really prove yourself. Did that help you today?
Yeah, it did, and today I had nothing to lose, so the last week has been a bit tough for me, but that was good today.
Well, it's good to see you're getting the congratulations from the coaches too. It's been a really hard season for you, I know, because you had the injury last year, so it's been a comeback season, and I know that's something you've not really dealt with before. Has it been strange for you in any way? Has it been more tough?
Yeah, it's the first time I've had such a long time away from skiing, so it has been tough, but it's great to be back on top.
And how excited are you now to have, I know you don't have a lot of time off, but you're skiing Europa Cup and Nationals, I know, to come, but it's been a very long season. Are you excited to have a little bit of a break?
Yeah, but we just have to train all year and come back stronger, even stronger next season.
Are you excited for it already?
Of course.
I know you never stop. Yes, but congratulations on the win. Alan, it's back to you.
Well, here is the action of the final man to cross the line in the 2018-19 World Para-Alpine skiing season. He is the overall winner in the men's sitting classification. He was the winner of the Slalom Globe as well. Well, that is all of the action, not just for today here in Morzine. We want to thank you for watching every minute of the action that's been covered. The World Para-Alpine Skiing Team, the IPC, and everybody that has helped contribute to this programme throughout the course of the season. To every local organising committee, we thank you as well. But from all of us here, for now, it's goodbye.